So this video is basically a bit about me and why I started my Mounjaro journey. I'm Sam, I'm on my 14th week of my Mounjaro weight loss journey, and I have lost 3 stone and 6 pounds. So my why is something that I frequently remind myself of, especially when I'm having those really hard days where I don't feel like I look any different, I don't really want to eat that great, or if I'm just really not feeling good about myself, which does happen. So my why has always and always will be my little boy. He's the main reason why I started this. So I've always struggled with my weight. Even as a child, I was always the chubby girl, and then at secondary school my mum actually let me join Weight Watchers with her. I really enjoyed it. I was able to lose 4 stone on this and I did feel great. But then I became an older teenager and soon became in charge of my own food and my own choices, and I started to gain the weight back again. And then in my late teens, I was diagnosed with PCOS, and then in my early 20s, I was also diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So both of these conditions affect weight and your hormones. So basically over the next few years of being diagnosed, I just started to slowly gain the weight back. And trust me, when I say I have tried every single diet going, I have. And I would stick to it 100%, and I'd exercise like a maniac. But some weeks I'd maintain or have a small gain. I might lose a pound, and then guaranteed the following 3 weeks I'd gain. So it's really, really disheartening when you're putting your all into it and you're not seeing the results that you feel like you should have. So I soon sort of started to give up, and then that mentality kind of stuck, like, what is the point? It doesn't work anyway. I'm doing all this and I'm miserable. The whole point is to be healthy and happy, and that's not what's happening. So, I'd continue on this cycle for ages. And then towards our mid to late 20s and into our early 30s, my husband and I went through probably some of the most horrific times of our life, to be honest. We struggled to conceive. I ended up having 4 ectopic pregnancies. I lost both my fallopian tubes, and we were told that our only option to start a family would be IVF. So I went through the fertility route, and the NHS actually refused to help us because of my BMI. The consultant said to me that I needed to lose 8 to 10 stone within the year, and then he'd be able to help me. It was kind of like, obviously I haven't been trying, and it would be so easy to lose 8 to 10 stone. So obviously I did try and lose the weight, but again, the cycles just kept happening. So we got quite disheartened, and then I found a clinic in Epsom, and they specialised in women in bigger bodies. So we went there, and the consultant said that he could help us. He said it would help if I lost a little bit of weight. However, he wouldn't expect it because of my conditions, but he would really highly recommend to eat a healthy, balanced diet because that's going to help the process. So I took on his advice and I followed the Mediterranean diet, and I lost about 1 stone. We then went on to have our cycles. The first one sadly failed, and then in our second round we fell pregnant with twins. And we were really excited. I was terrified, obviously, but then we sadly lost one of the twins to vanishing twin syndrome. And then in March 2022, our little baby boy Albie was born. And then the bad food intake really started, because I'd had a C-section. I was obviously looking after a newborn, so a lot of the cooking responsibilities sort of fell to my husband. So it was either really quick, easy, not so good for you dinners, or takeaways, and then that just slowly became the normal. I tried to diet and exercise, but my willpower, it was non-existent by this point, and I would feel so guilty about not doing things and eating all this rubbish food and then not being able to do things with my son. like I'd cancel plans because I was embarrassed about my weight. And then I can't remember when it was. It was around his 3rd birthday. And we'd gone and met up with some of my best friends, like they are my absolute heart. Anyway, we went to an adventure park with them and their children, and it was such a good day. Like, it was so much fun, but there were so many things that I couldn't go on. And one thing in particular that Albie really wanted to go on, it was this massive slide, and it had these big rubber rings, like tube rings, and you sat in them and you slid down, and Albie was desperate to go on it, and I said no. I was like, Mummy can't go on it. It's because I was so anxious. I was anxious about what people would think. I was anxious in case I would break something or hurt someone if I fell off or whatever. I was worried I wouldn't fit in the ring, or just all these ridiculous things. Luckily for me, my friends, they just go to him, come on Albie, let's go. And they took him on. And it just kind of made me feel a bit like, what are you doing? And that kind of became the turning point where I thought, no, I need to sort myself out now. I'm missing out on things with him. He's missing out on things. We're not making memories, and making memories and having fun together, that's what it's all about. So I decided to start dieting, and then I remembered about the injection. My doctor had previously referred me when it first kind of came out. So I started to look into it because I hadn't heard anything back from the referral, and I thought, do you know what, sod it, I'm going to pay for it. And it was probably, other than IVF, it was the best decision I've ever made, because since then, and these are such silly things, like most people just do it without thinking, but we have been on a bouncy castle, and I took him swimming. Like, I haven't been in a swimsuit and swimming for close to 10 years. And he bloody loved it. It was the best day. And now I know that I can't not have that excitement from him. The way he reacted, I just can't miss out on that. So my next challenge is we're going to Legoland for my birthday. And there is nothing I'm not going to do unless I can't physically do it. So yeah. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm really looking forward to making some more memories with Albie. So yeah, that's a bit about me, about why I started my journey. You know, I didn't think I'd be able to lose weight, and now I've lost 3 stone 6 pounds. I've gone from weighing 23 stone 8 pounds to 20 stone 2 pounds in 14 weeks. And now that I've had that taste of what it feels like to give your child something that he really, really wants, then nothing will stop me now, not even the price hikes. So yeah, but thank you for listening, for following me on my journey, and remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you.